Okay, hello everyone, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to rationalize a denominator. Now, what we mean by rationalizing the denominator is essentially we mean to get rid of the surd from the denominator because a surd is an irrational number. And when we talk about rationalizing the denominator, we're talking about removing the surd from the denominator. Now, here's an example. This is question 8a, 1 over root 5. Now, the technique for doing this, and again, there's a lot of overlap in these early modules of A-level with year 11 maths. That probably lasts for, I would say, the first few months. First maybe 2 months, there's a substantial overlap before it starts to deviate. So a lot of these introductory topics that we're looking at will be things that many of you will have seen before, and some of you will be quite confident with it, others maybe not so much. So here, what we need to do is multiply the numerator and the denominator of this fraction by this surd here. So 1 times root 5 is root 5, and root 5 times root 5 is just 5, and that's it done. We've expressed it in a way where we now have a rational denominator. So we've basically got rid of the surd from the denominator. We've rationalized it. And you can see in question 8 that there's lots of other ones there that would be appropriate to look at as well. I just want to draw your attention to perhaps question 8h, where there's an interesting point to be made. Now, there's a very easy way and a very difficult way to approach this. Not very difficult, but more harder than it needs to be. And the way that's harder than it needs to be is if we were to multiply the numerator and denominator of this expression by root 72. Okay. In fact, we don't actually want to be doing that because the numbers are going to get big. So the appropriate approach for this one is to try and simplify this first. So I'd highly recommend that you simplify the surd before you multiply. So 72 is root 36 times by root 2. And root 36 is 6, so that is 12 over 6 root 2. This one simplifies nicely because 12 divided by 6 is 2. So this is 2 over root 2. And you can see that already that that's a lot nicer for us to be dealing with than trying to multiply by root 72. So we multiply the numerator and the denominator by the surd that's here, the root 2. So we multiply everything that we need to by that one. And when we do that, we get 2 root 2 in the numerator. And root 2 times root 2 is 2, so that's 2. The 2's cancel here now. They cancel, and so the whole thing simplifies just into root 2, which is our answer for that one. So my advice for these kinds of ones would be, in order to make life simpler, where you can, simplify the surd before you multiply the numerator and the denominator by the surd. Okay, excellent. Good. Now, we've got in question 9 and question 10 and 11, there's a lot more questions there for us to have a practice. I'll pick one from question 9. Let's have a look at one from question 9. So question 9, let's have a look at E. Okay, so question 9E. I'll do it here. Question 9E. So question 9E then. We've got 1 over root 18. 1 over root 18 plus 1 over root 32. Okay, so question 9e. Now, for this one, what I need to do is think about root 18. Well, root 18 is root 9 times by root 2. And what about 1 over 32? How are we going to think about that one? Well, that is going to be 16 times by 2. So we're going to have 1 over root 16 times by root 2. Root 9 is 3, so this is 1 over 3 root 2. Root 16 is 4, so this is 1 over 4 root 2. So I've now, as I recommended to you in this previous example, I've simplified the surds before I do the multiplication. I've still got the surd here, I need to rationalize these two. So I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator of this one by root 2, because that's the surd there. I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator of this one by root 2 for the same reason, because there's a surd root 2 there as well. So I now get root 2 over 3 times 2, because remember, root 2 times root 2 is 2. This fraction goes to root 2 over 4 times by root 2 times by root 2, which is another 2. So now I have got root 2 over 6 add root 2 over 8. So root 2 over 6 add root 2 over 8. Okay, now at this point we're back to just conventional kind of fractions from year 6, with the exception of the fact that they've got a surd in the numerator. Okay, so in order to combine these, I'm just going to simply multiply the numerator and denominator of this one by 8. I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator of this one by 6, just so I can get a common denominator. Okay, so that's going to go to 8 root 2 over 48 plus 6 root 2 over 48, like so. And now I can combine those two together. So that is going to give me 14 root 2 over 48. And now I can simplify that down into 7 over 24. So let's simplify that down into 7 root 2 over 24. Okay, so 7 root 2 over 24 is the answer, because there's a common factor of 2 here, and I've been able to cancel the numerator and the denominator down by 2. Okay, so that's an example of simplifying surds and an introduction to rationalizing the denominator. In the next video, I'm going to move on to look at more complex rationalizing the denominator. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.